Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thanks. Hello, students. As we recall from last week, we did the practical for survey planning, right? So now, like, we actually need to go to the field and collect the data. So, as you may all know, like, the lecture for this module is Dr. Mayshree Singh, and then I'm assisting her with the module. Okay, the competency level for this practical is level 1 and 2. So it's just not that difficult. You just need to understand and just remember level 1 and 2. So before we even go to the field, we must make sure that we have everything ready. Before we go to the field, we must make sure that we have all our equipment to go to the field. So what we need is a boat first, and the hydrolyte setup, hydrographic surveying system, a tape measure, a ranging rod. I'll just explain the purpose of this equipment in this practical. So we need a boat or a vessel because we use it as our platform. So it carries our equipment that we use to collect data. So depending on the type of location where you are doing your survey, like you may use a different survey platform. So this picture was taken at Madam. This was us doing the practical at Madam. Okay. As you may recall, last week last week we gave you coordinates. So whenever we go to the field, in those coordinates we place these rods. These will guide us through when we are collecting the data, when we are traveling through our survey path. And you also need the tape measure. If you may ask, what is the purpose of the tape measure? We use the tape measure to measure the offset. So the offset is the distance from the water surface to your equipment, to your transducer. You'll see more on that like later. The offset. So we use the tape measure to measure offset. Keep that in mind. And this is the Hydrolyte hydrographic surveying system. It consists of transducer, a digitizer, and a handheld GPS. So a transducer is it's collecting the depth measurements, and then the digitizer translate the information to the controller. Okay, as I told you before, that a transducer, it collects the water depth. So this equipment will not be clearly on the surface of the water. It needs to be deeper so that like it may able to work. So the distance between the surface of the water, let's see if the surface is here, and then whenever you go down to this is your offset. This is what like we need a shape for. We need a shape to measure this distance. Is there a question? Is there a question? Is anyone having a question?
No.
Oh, all right, all right. Carry on. Okay, and then you have a digitizer. The digitizer enables the viewing of the real-time viewing of the depth measurement. So as we are measuring depth, like we're able to see on our controller the depth measurements. And then we have a GPS. It's a handheld GPS. So this measures latitude and longitude. So remember that transducer only measures the height. So we must also assign the position to that height. We use the GPS to do that. So like I think you may all know that the GPS, it uses satellites actually to determine the accurate position. So in the end, you'll have a 3D coordinates. You'll have this latitude, longitude, and your depth measurement. It also, like, the purpose of this also, it georeferences your data. Okay, Dr. Singh, can you please take us through on how you set up the hydrographic surveying hydrolyte system?
Okay. Mm. Okay, so as Thando mentioned, we have a little survey system like this that's set up. So it's usually a 1-man to a 3-man boat, which is powered um, like this. And then this is the hydrolyte setup. So you've got a little pole like this, and you've got a GPS controller, and the transducer is in the water. Okay, so here it is again. If you take it out of the boat. What is the surveying term for this here?
A rod?
A rod. Let's see, transom mount, survey pole, the survey pole, right? You've got your survey pole, you've got your GPS controller here, you've got the antenna, and this is your digitizer. And then there's this clamp here. I don't think there's any equipment here, but there's your transducer. Okay, this is the guy that's sending sound waves. That's usually how you'd set it up. Okay, so the first step is to attach the transducer to the bottom. Then this is the transom mount. So I think that's this, that the mount is used, yeah, to mount the rod to the boat itself. Okay, so the transom mount. So it's different there, depends on what equipment you have or what kind of vessel you'll have. You'll mount it in different ways. So here you needed a special piece of mount, a bracket here that helps you to mount it to the vessel. So then you need to attach your GPS to the survey pole, and then this is a single beam echo sounder, right? So you're going to have this, it's called the sonomite or the digitizer. You're going to attach that to your pole. Okay. So then you're going to pick up your controller, which is this here. It's got some software on there. Okay, so it depends on what software you have or what version of controller you have. You'll have different kinds of screens, but I'm just showing you what's here. So this is sort of like a mini computer. So the first thing you do here is to bring in your satellite data. So you'll go to the GPS module and you look for satellites. Right, so you'll know if you're getting satellites in if you see this kind of screen. And then after that, you need to click on your GPS connector, and then you need to open some of the ports in this controller here. So you'll tell, so your output probably set at COM2 and your input at COM3. So these are ports for bringing in data and sending out data. Okay, so you've got to play around with these ports. It's not that straightforward. With our equipment at the stores, we've written down exactly which COM ports are usually compatible with that controller. So that's usually the difficulty that we face in the practical. Right, then step 3 is now to run this little program here, where you can, this program is this here, where you'd be able to see the GPS coming in, and you'd be able to see if there's water depths coming in. So what you do is you'd find that little program, and depends where you put it in your controller, but here it's on program files, connections, and here it's saved under this directory here. So you'll start it, and then what will happen here? You look at the memory, and then you'll see what programs are running, and then you'll say, okay. Sorry about that. And then once, I mean, it looks very straightforward, but it needs some kind of playing around with ports and things. And then once you've figured, or once everything is connected and data is coming in and going out, and once everything's successful, you're going to see a screen like this, okay, on your controller. So that means GPS is coming in, and the ports, you've got to set up the ports as well, again, for the software. And the next step is then to set up the Bluetooth. So once you've got all the data coming into the controller, you need to start communicating with this guy here, with this guy here, and this guy here. So that's when you need the Bluetooth to work. So then you'll activate the Bluetooth. Okay, so with the Bluetooth now, you'll connect to that digitizer. Okay, it's here. And then that's how you'd be able to save your data. Okay, and then you need to bring in the Bluetooth on another port as well. So that's the process for setting up the Hydrolite. And then if everything goes well, which I'm sure it will, you're going to see screens like this, and then you're going to set up the port on the software itself. These things are automatic settings. I don't think anything needs to be changed here. And then you're going to check now. So if everything's in the water and you're collecting nice data, you're going to see something like this. So you can see this is the water levels. So usually this is like about 0.5 meter to 1 meter of water depth that you see. And this is your GPS locations. Okay, and then you press E to record an event, and then you'll save your data to a file. Okay, and then there's a lot of troubleshooting tips here. Okay, so things freeze, which it often does. You're gonna do a hard reset. There's different settings, so you can either, when you press login, then that's when data starts recording to a file. Okay, and then, yeah, so this is another functionality. So waypoints can be saved as well with this function here. And then this is what your data would look like with your coordinates, and this is your waypoint data, right? So yeah, so if you have certain waypoints, I think that you can also load it in. That's extra stuff. So then you'll transfer the data, I think, via Bluetooth to the computer. And then you'd start processing with the Sonamite application, which we're going to show you next week. This is what essentially it looks like. Okay, so that was, I know it's just a presentation and you're not playing with the equipment yourself, but it's more or less the basic setup of the equipment. Okay, Thando, was that helpful? Is there any questions, students?
Yes, Justin, that was very helpful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Can I proceed, or is there any question?
Okay.
Okay,
You
no
can
question.
proceed.
All right. Okay. Currently, I'm just gonna play a little video that is explaining what I was saying and what Dr. Singh was saying. Just a short video, and I'll be explaining it also. Okay, sure. Oops. Sorry. Can you hear my sound?
No, I think Thando, you have to share with sound.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Share screen. All right. All right. You see, this is a sort of sets up what Dr. Singh was explaining. You see, we have a GPS here, even though we have handheld GPS, but it's a GPS. And then it, this is a mount. Just this was used just to mount the boat to this pole. And then at the bottom of the pole, you have your transducer. All right, again here. This just explains that you see whenever you're doing this measurement, you have the GPS, so it collects latitude and longitude. You have 2D coordinates, and then also you have the transducer, which collects your depth. In the end, you have like a 3D coordinates. At the end of this survey, like you'll have a 3D model of the dam, like of the surface of the dam, of the surface of the water. So that's what it basically means. And then here I'm trying to show you the offset. You see this distance from the pole, this is the transducer. All this distance from here, from the water surface to the transducer, you must ensure you measure that distance, because can I just show you? Okay, yeah. So basically we want the distance from here, from the water surface to the ocean bed. And then you see whenever you mount your transducer, it may be here, so you may be missing out on this point. So that's why you must measure the offset and ensure that we include that in our, you'll see when we're doing the data processing, we include the offset in the data processing. Okay, again, this just illustrate that the type of survey platform that you may need for different sites. This is it's a quite large platform, so if you do a very long survey, for example, if you maybe you'll go at sea maybe for days, again it's just say maybe 2 or 3 crew members. If you, yeah, for a long stay, you may use this vessel. It's quite useful. And then this one, you see you have a smaller vessel. This, if you're working on dams and just the on the coast, you may also use this vessel, same vessel. And then when you do like really shallow waters, shallow and mud waters, they use this vessel. So whenever you are done, your equipment sets up and you have chosen your boat, you can now start with your survey lines and do your survey part. You see, remember last week that this is what we've done. Like we did our survey lines like this. So now you have your boat and you have your equipment set up, and then you can start your survey and you move along your survey lines to ensure that you cover the whole area.
This is a fantastic video.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, that was it for me. And is there anyone who has a question?
Sorry, Thando.
Yes, Mobi.
Yes, can you please share that video maybe on the course site?
Okay, we're gonna share it.
Yes, I think I've got a bad network connection.
Sorry, Ngumalo.
I'm saying, sir, can you please share this bit because for a bad network connection, you keep on cutting on it.
Oh, so sorry about that.
I think it's my connection.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
it's from
We may you
both.
see we'll share the video, but you see it's a very short video. It's just, I think it's 2 minutes, right? So if you have any questions, like whenever you like, you have a video and also that PowerPoint presentation, but then again, all those are just summaries. That's why like we had to do this, like we had to come here and then do the presentation for you. All those are just summary. So like you may look at those, and then if you have any questions, like you can always ask myself or Dr. Singh. But we'll share the video. Dr. Singh will upload the video.
That's fine. Okay, so I think that's what we wanted to cover today in terms of how you would set up the hydrolyte. So you have enough information to work in that section of the report now, where I think the first part of the report is how to plan the survey and then how to set up the survey, the equipment setup. So I think this was today's practical was about what kind of equipment is needed and how you'd set it up and what are the factors that you need to think about when you're collecting data. So that's for
Dr.
the
Singh?
next part of the practical, yes?
Yeah, they have a quiz on Friday, right? Like about this
Yes,
practical. Yeah.
yes.
So whatever we said here, like we need to remember it for Friday. Like we have a quiz.
Okay, so there's the quiz on Friday, yes, thank you. And then what else can we say? So is there anything else we want to go through, or you want to just can we go through group A? It's beneficial for us to see where's your data plotted. Who has plotted the data and it looks off? Can you share your screen? Then we can play around and see what's the problem. But first, can I see who is in group A? Can you put a thumbs up or raise your hand? Who's in group A? So I can just do a little register online. Is there anybody here in group A? I know there was one student Sandiso, you in group A?
Yes, Mama, I'm in group A, but the reactions are not showing.
Okay, so group A, so that means group A, Sandiso, so you are present, right? Group B, is group B reps present today? Group B? Anybody from group B here today? We've got Nishlanshla, Simpiwe, Tebo, Saniliswe, Bulewa, and yeah. So are you guys here? Nobody here? Group C?
Dr. Singh, Simpiwe is here from Group B, Simpiwe, Shezi.
Okay, so we've got somebody from Group B. Group C, anybody here? Spamandle, Samkelo, Malusi, Lungelo, Sibung, Gakonke, are you here?
I'm also present for Group A.
Okay. Group C, nobody here?
Yeah, I'm present for Group B.
And I'm also present for Group A.
Group A, who's just spoke?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've put you there. Put you as present. I'm talking now about Group C. Any representatives?
Sibonga is present from the chat. Just send a message. Group C.
Okay. Group D, Ndondo, France, Miso, Simpiwe. Ifriti, I know is here. Okay. All right. So I know that
I'm also present for group D.
Group D.
Ngobezizwe.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So at least we know that the students are represented. So now let's talk now about the last prac, which is prac 1, where we had where we needed help. So group A, Sandiso and Luyando, can you maybe share your screen and show us where your data plotted so we can try and help you to see where you went wrong? Okay, so I'm looking for group A members. Can you said you had an issue, we want to assist. So can we have a look at your data and see what were the issues?
Oh,
and
sorry.
try to assist you. Yeah.
Or I want to. Oh, can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead. Thando, are you following? You seeing what's happening here?
Dr. Singh, Sandiso? Sandiso?
Students, you all do not need to stay online. Only for those students that still need help with prac 1 should stay on, just to make sure that they're able to plot their data. The rest of you, we finished with the second prac.
Or I was saying I'm trying to share the
Yes,
file.
please go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sandiso, we can see. Are you trying to import the coordinates or
Yes, I'm trying to
open the
import
file?
I'm trying to import the coordinates.
All right, then press import, not open. Should be import. Cancel.
Import please.
File, import. All right.
And
Oh, Thando, you needed that document. Let me do that as well.
All right, thanks, Dawson. Okay, sorry, Sandiso?
Yeah.
Okay, can you pause there? Just want to see your coordinates, and then maybe we'll ask the others if they see the same thing, if they have the same thing for their coordinates.
Okay. Or let me show my coordinates. Oh, here are my coordinates. I did put the negative on the latitude.
Okay.
But the second number, the thing that confuses me is the second number. It doesn't like print full. It just only writes negative 29.492, and the 9 like it just let me say it just rounds off.
Okay, let's see your
One
data.
to two.
Let's check your data.
Or I should enter it in the app, or
No, let's share your data. Where you saying there's this problem.
or let me try to new share. Oh, it's this one.
Okay. So you did, Thando, what do you think is happening here? Is it, maybe it should be a dot or a, instead of a comma?
Okay. Sandy, so can you please highlight that and then go right click and then go to format cell? Just highlight all your numbers.
Oh, wait.
No, not the point number, just longitude and latitude.
Ooh, what is happening?
Escape.
Is in. I can't see escape on my PC. Oh.
Press escape.
Oh, like, oh, back, I think there is backspace.
Escape is ESC.
SC.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Then I
Highlight.
like this.
And then yeah. And then right click. Format cells.
Format cells.
And then number. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's say just go to, let's say maybe seven decimal places.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, and then press OK. Okay, I think it's all right. Can you try to save that and then save? It will work.
Oh, it's CSV, comma delimited. It hasn't changed.
All right, just save.
Okay. Then say fine. Say book 4, then say open. And say add. Okay. Why?
Thando, I'm having a problem with that signature. I'm just going to stop recording now. Having a problem with inserting the signature, so I'm going to send it to you and you can insert it.
All right, awesome, thanks.
Okay, let me just stop recording. Yeah, I'll just see what I can do with that signature. Sorry, I don't think I'll be allowed to send you that.